I am considering this a desk debris layout in my daily creative practice journal. In cleaning up, I'm just looking around and I'm noticing the things that are catching my attention. What is it in my piles as I'm putting them away and sorting them? I wasn't feeling super creative today, and so I just try to notice the things that light me up. And so as I'm sorting through this pile, I'm just picking little pieces out. You know, these are the little pieces that are probably destined for the garbage, but I love to give everything one last look for little bits that are interesting. What sort of patterns are interesting to me? What sort of color combinations are interesting? What, if I just snip out a little corner, what kind of angles are interesting to me? And so this ends up just being sort of a diary, a visual diary of what's on my desk, what I've been working with. I've been pulling some jelly prints, trying to get some image transfer jelly prints to work. And I always have this leftover pile of detritus, and it's too good to just toss in the trash without giving one last look. And so that is today's layout in my daily creative practice journal. It's going to end up being a spread for an entire week, and I may or may not do some journaling around. I've left myself some space at the very end, but you see me here just sort of auditioning pieces, little bits here, little bits there. I love black and white polka dot, and so you'll always find that in my stash. I have some little bits that I cut off of a project that I was working on. And again, these are the good parts. These are the parts that are just too good to throw away, but they don't really have a purpose or a place. And that's what I love to do when I'm not feeling super inspired. I didn't have a project in mind that I needed to do. I did need to clean up. And sometimes when other things are percolating and I'm putting things away, that's when the magic starts to happen. And this is a different project that I've been working on. And so it's really nice to switch between surfaces and switch between journals. This is my daily creative practice journal. So here you see me taking a picture of my spread, and I'm changing it to black and white because I want to visually check the values, and so you can see my black and white version there. I believe there's a lot of good darks and lights and mid-tones, and so that was a good value check for me to do. And having a picture of it, now I'm going to start gluing things down. So I'm just using a Yoo-hoo glue stick, getting things down nice and liberally. I will be burnishing things down with a bone folder, and or I usually prefer to use a brayer, which you'll see me use in a little bit as well. So everything is down. Now I'm coming in with a Micron Graphic 1 pen. This is like a felt tip pen. It's not as fine as the Micron 01 that we're used to using, the really fine needle point. This is a bold felt tip, and so Graphic 1 is the pen that I'm using. It is waterproof when it is dry, and so I'm coming around each of the areas, drawing in just some organic lines, doubling over. This is just sort of to activate each of those pieces. For me, it felt like they needed something to start to connect them and make them cohesive, even though they all came from the same pile. I'm just treating each one of these little vignettes or these little segments. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with them yet, but I'm just doing the next thing. The next right thing to me felt like outlining them and then giving that outline another run around. I love it when the lines double up like this because it gives me another area to come in and fill in some little tick marks, which just adds more layers and texture to the whole thing. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm drawing some little scales into any corner that I find. So three lines that echo each other. That's how I'm going to describe that. And then I'm just coming into all of these little open areas where the lines miss each other in their doubling up, and give little tick marks there. That gives those lines a little more weight and a little more interest. Now all of my lines have been abstract so far, and I like to do little doodly drawings as well, because that again it's line, but it's something that's different because they're organized in such a way that you see more of a picture. And then I'm just continuing in with geometric lines. I'm using a stencil here. This is the April stencil for the Watch, Learn, Play stencil of the month. And I'm just taking a portion of that and drawing in some scallops at the top. So you don't necessarily have to freehand do these borders and shapes. You can use stencils or parts of stencils to get yourself some line onto your page, and it could be any sort of design that you want to put in between these segments. I mentioned before that this is in my daily creative practice journal, and I do keep track of the spreads by week. And so I'm just signifying what week this is by numbering these boxes with the days of the week. And that's going to do it for this spread. We're just finishing up this last date. And throughout the week, when I take this journal page out, I will doodle some more into those empty spaces, and I may add some journaling here. There are some blank spots that I do that as well. And so I'm just going to leave some open space now.